All right, everybody. Today is, if I'm not mistaken, I believe today is June 6th. Yeah, no, just today is it's it's 1:24 p.m. right now, Tuesday, June 9th, 2020. Here's the thing. Most of you know both my channels on YouTube. I wanted to basically give a complete update on the situation. I will not be uploading any more content to those channels for a specific reason. Just today, right? Now first thing tomorrow I'll probably be able to upload content on the Mischievous Space M channel, but I'm not even gonna bother uploading anything else to that channel because of how serious they got him with the censorship. So this is the new direction where I'm going to. Bitchut is going to be my primary platform for where I'm uploading my content at from now on, right? So anything that we get ready to upload will be here on this channel. YouTube has gotten so bad with the censorship. You may have, some of you fellow TIs out there, target individuals, may have heard of Awaken World channel. She's also a fellow TI from the UK. Now she actually, I started asking about like mentioning the anti nano bucket, right? I mentioned that, and we started with someone. I think it was one of the moderators in the chat found some links for us, right? Or it was either that person or her that found the links, and we ended up stumbling upon the original inventor of the anti nano bucket, right? One of the interviews of which he had. And he's going into a basic conversation of all the stuff he found out during his research. Dude, every type of grain has this nano shit in it. Nanoparticles. Any type of organics has nanoparticles in it. So bad, and anything that's like a vegetable or a fruit of any kind that's like above ground being sprayed with this stuff. If it's not underground when it's grown, the stuff is completely saturated with the nanotech. Completely saturated, completely infected. That's how bad it is. Um, I'm also finding out that apparently they've been putting nanoparticles in colloidal silver. Now I know there is nano silver, but it turns out that there's been some. He even mentioned that the pharmaceutical companies have been, doing some mislabeling. They've been paid off to do the mislabeling things, right? To where it would just say that something is colloidal silver when it's really nano silver. So as soon as I found when we all found out about that, they really didn't like that. They started hacking away like crazy at her Awaken's live stream. Several things were just being cut off or whatever. I would pre-record it to bring it here for you all, but I highly recommend you to just go to her channel to find it. You type it in Awaken World, you'll be able to find it. But let me tell you something, man. It gets worse. I'm finding out it is. I did know that they were putting synthetic-based fibers in clothing, right? And I know that the exoskeleton of the nanotechnology is, synthetic-based, right? Now I'm finding out that those synthetic fibers are actually nanotech fibers that they're putting in your clothes. Now, I'm dialing the dial back on time, right? And I'm thinking back to where I saw some shit going down with Walmart's clothing. And I remember they said that they had something about their it was people complaining about their tags of how it was like leaving some type of glowish thing that you can see on their backs with with a black light. If you were to use a black light, you would be able to see this stuff on their skin. I can't recall exactly what it was, but they said like if a person was like to steal, they used an excuse saying that someone was to steal some clothes from them, right? They can track they can basically track the person who stole them by using that. I think there's some other shit involved with that. And I think that was actually nanotech. That was the nanotech fibers literally being shown with the black light. That's literally it being shown infecting the person's body. I honestly believe that's what the fuck that was, due to everybody being sprayed down with these chemtrails and stuff. If that's not bad enough, then you got to deal with the GMOs and not to mention the frequencies, man. It's crazy. Three different major problems that we have. You got the frequencies, you got the GMOs, and then you got the chemtrails. Three major problems. One's meant to infect you, the other one's meant to open you up, and then the other one is meant to turn you on. Basically turning you into an electronic machine of receiving these frequencies. If you hadn't checked out the website, check out the website, Bye Bye Blue Skies. It has a ton of information out on this stuff. But let me tell you all something, man. They did not want me uploading that at all. They didn't. If it's all who watch this video right now, do not use Colloidal Silver from the pharmaceutical companies, because they are mislabeling a lot of stuff. You can, I would recommend for you to call up the manufacturer to find out whether it is, actual colloidal, no nanotech in that Colloidal Silver or not. But with all these people being paid off, it's hard to really take, their even their opinion or statements as face value and truth. It really is. But I guess in this case, like if they would have said no and you got evidence of that, and then if you were to do order a whole new bottle without opening it, you record it, you do biology on it, you find out that they lied and there is nanotech in there, then I guess that would be a lawsuit. So they wouldn't want to be sued. So I don't know. Because that would be a big risk to them. They're hoping a lot of people don't get into biology though. And you see, for a target individual, biology is the biggest fucking defense you can have. But they don't want you to know that shit. You think that you can't see that shit that they're wiping out on the surfaces with a microscope? Oh hell no, you can. They'll put that shit on your food when you're not even aware about it. But guess what? What happens when you do a swab? You put that swab and you're recording it, right? The entire time you walked in the store, you swabbed the item of which they had laced. You put it in a little plastic baggie. You take it back. The entire time you're recording, right? You are recording this whole thing. You're taking that, put it under the microscope. You see what's in it, and then you see the fiber stuff linking around with the nano, with signal lights. How would they explain that? That they would have no choice but to basically blurt out the truth of what happened, unless they want to be literally have their business shut down. They would have no choice. There is so much I could do that would really fuck them up right now. But at the same time, it's so much going on to where like it just puts your focus everywhere. So it's not like these people can't be caught. It's not like these people doing this can't be exposed. And trust me, they won't tell you this, but there are places that are looking for assholes who do this shit. There are people who are aware of this. You could basically bring the item to them. They'll do a swab on it. And if they find out that shit literally is there, they want to find out who the fuck released it. But they won't tell you that. They will not tell you that. I'm telling you. They will never tell you where that is. Now, as for the set location, it's been a while since I've read up on this, basically the statement from this individual who basically was talking about this, who also was a fellow target individual who they were doing this to. It wasn't just that person either. It was several people who basically put this organization out on a hot seat so bad that they had everything. They had the floating box surveillance. They had all of this stuff being surveyed, man. All of this stuff. They had recordings towards their, viewing towards their back, facing towards what was behind them, and another camera facing what was in front of them. So whatever was being recorded and behind them, when those individuals would do a signal, they're signaling someone who's most likely out of your view space. When they do all of these random signals, these weird things that they do, whether they scratch their chin, whether they scratch their belly, whether they rub their ear, whether they pull something out of any of these types of signs, these symbols that they do, it's all in correlation, and it's all mimicking of some other person who was behind you as far as code. They don't want to do it. They're not just going to say, oh, well, he's coming over here, he's going over there, she's right here, she's right there. They're not going to do that on public because that exposes them. Knowing what they're doing is highly illegal. Why the fuck would they expose themselves like that? The obvious answer is they wouldn't. But I want people to understand, any type of rice, any type of grain, let me tell you something, man. Buy your stuff The best place you can get real stuff that is not infected with that nano shit, fine. If you got some Amish neighbors, you better get in contact with them, because the FBA has been literally giving those nice people a whole lot of unnecessary bullshit when it comes to their stuff. And it's because their actual food products are not contaminated with this nano shit. If people didn't know about that. So if you want to find yourself some real legit organic seeds, some real legit organic stuff, and as far when I'm talking about organic, I'm talking about like not the organics that they're selling you in the store. I'm talking about stuff that is not infected with this nano stuff, the stuff that's not infected with GMO. That is the best thing you could go for. As far as what I plan on doing, man, I'm definitely getting off the grid, because you all got to understand, they are still spraying this stuff down. Even we can still talk them, literally take this shit to court, but the problem is we got to deal with the people who are misinforming people. Let me tell you something, man. I know way too much now. I know way too much to where they had to go out of their way to prevent me from even uploading any more content. This has gotten so out of hand. I had one of their agents send me a message out on YouTube's platform stating everybody's been warned, come join us or whatever. And I've uploaded that video. They were not happy about that. I had some other message of someone saying, you're basically putting out too much information. You're putting out too much information. So you want to know what happened right after that? They sent a guy, right? They sent a guy to basically make a video. I don't know if he was sent. I think he may have been, either he was told to do it or he just did it out of spite. I don't care. But you see, I use opportunities like that. They should know, because, and you want to know why they know? It's because they didn't they didn't say shit on the next video that I made after that. They said they had plenty to say on the video of me addressing the issue with that guy doing that, right? But they didn't have shit to say with the video of me basically exposing his lie. They didn't have shit to say, and there was nothing they could say because it was the truth. It had all the information you could have just searched up for yourself. The actual code of the public code and all that stuff, everything, man. The articles and everything like that, the documentation, all of that shit was basically shown. Let me tell you something, man. As long as you remain on the grid, I'm telling you, but not only your air, your water, your food, is all. Even your fucking, I'm even shocked. They went the extra mile by putting this shit in your clothes. They are literally putting nano fibers in your clothing. That's what that synthetic stuff is. And I'm just like, since Walmart, Walmart's owners are basically like high end with Big Brother, and the like the Central Intelligence and all that shit. And if you ain't even aware, there are some Masonic individuals who are like involved with the ownership of Walmart and shit. But dude, after seeing it, I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if damn near all their tech has this spy equipment shit built in. I wouldn't be surprised if every single clothesline, I mean every fucking clothesline, even clothing for kids, man. Even clothing for babies. I wouldn't be surprised if that nano shit was in that. I would not be surprised at all. Think about the Pampers. That shit is synthetic. What if they're putting nanotech in that? Let me tell you something, man. If I ever had a woman and she bared my children, I ain't using no fucking synthetic diapers. I'm using cloth diapers. Cloth. Rewashable, reusable. And I don't even give a fuck about the shit smell. I don't care. I would not even fucking do that to a kid, man. I refuse. I fucking refuse to do that shit. Even now, by me still being here on this grid, I am fighting this damn programming. Not just me, but several other fucking people are fighting this damn programming that seeks to basically rob us of our minds. And these pricks who are hired by the same organization are out there. Either they are blind or they just don't know the truth. They are so blind that they don't realize that they are killing themselves along with trying to kill other people with the stuff that they're doing. It may not seem like direct murder, but technically it is murder, man. When you try to invade a person's mind, let me tell you that, man, I, it's so crazy. It's just so much of a crazy situation that when you think about it, everywhere you go, from everything that you touch, from everything that you wear, from everything that you eat, damn near, all of it still has this nano shit in it. Everything, your shoes, your pants, your socks, your underwear, your shirt, your hats, everything has this nano shit in it. Here I'm thinking it was just coming from the, them spraying the skies and stuff. And this stuff was just growing on the ground, and from putting in certain crops that maybe there was actually a choice out, some choices you could actually go and get. Here's the problem with all of this though, right? Watch GMO a go-go. There's something in that. You can see GMO a go-go on YouTube. Now, again, as I stated before, man, I'm abandoning YouTube altogether because their censorship is getting way out of control. It is getting way out of control. And if I'm noticing it, there's no way anybody else is not noticing it. Like, it's seriously getting out of control. They have taken down a video from did I post it? From ODD TV. I didn't just take the video. No, I made sure that the whole thing showed, and I even left a link in the description to basically give credit where credit was due, right? Man, they took that video down, dude. They took it down claiming, we had to take this content down, this video down, because we think. It didn't say, they're not saying that it had violence in it. They saying that they think it was a representation of violence. The fuck do I care about what you think? What you think does not matter. What matters is, does it have violence in it or not? Because I kept saying on my channel, the channel was not there to promote any line of violence. I even brought attention to people who were trying to basically incite violence, to shine a light on them, to put a fucking stop to what they were doing, so that people won't get the wrong idea about channels. Because if you're not aware, this is what they were doing. There are people who are doing live streams. And I was giving out, they didn't like the fact that I was warning people about that, how they would send these assholes, these pricks in their chats to basically spout out violence so that they would have an excuse to shut the channel down. And they were going to sit there and use that as an excuse for blaming the content creator, right? Saying, let's just go ahead and block this person. Let's go ahead and shut this channel down because it's obviously, we see a person there inciting violence in the live stream, so clearly this channel must be inciting violence. Man, targeted citizen, Stu, he was not representing violence, dude. He wasn't doing that. None of it. He was only basically showing out awareness, man. That's all that man was doing. Was spreading out awareness, and they shut his channel down. That dude was asleep, and they went in his home while he was asleep, while they were using these weapons on him, right? And they did an illegal injection on his body, an illegal injection with a syringe, like a tetanus shot. Now, I'm gonna share the video I don't know if I've already shared the video on this channel yet, but it will be posted on here, so you all will be able to see that. I tell you something, man, they are really getting desperate to basically crack down on this hacking shit. Like, seriously, they are getting so desperate for censorship because, people are just not buying their shit. If you think that they're winning, here's the thing, man. The balance is there are people who are still blind, but the balance is tipping in our favor. Slowly but surely, it's getting there because more and more people are seeing this. They're seeing that, Floyd George, that dude named George Floyd, right? Okay. Why are we seeing two different scenarios with the filming of the newscast, right? They're filming they're trying to say this is the same situation where the guy where the cop had his knee on that dude's neck, right? Okay. So why are they showing another video that's actually on the other side, viewing from behind the officer, but the people who were having their phones up aren't present? What's up with that? And if you don't believe me, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you two different camera angles, but the people with the phones aren't present in the second one. They're claiming that was the same person though. And then, if you think that's not telling, we got another video out with the officer claiming that the officer who was allegedly killed Floyd. Basically, he was on the inside, and he said that dude wasn't killing him. He had his fucking knee on the back of his neck. You can't choke somebody by trying to choke them from the back of the neck. It has to be where the Adam's apple is at. If you, that's just adding pressure to a line of skin, to where some line of flesh and meat is at. All the organs, all the tubes and stuff is in the front, not the back. Not to mention, it gets worse. This guy Floyd is a fucking pornographic actor. An actor. Do you think that this dude cannot act faking his death? You think that's worse? It gets even worse. In the film, you can see on his chest a tattoo that he has on his chest. The same insignia that you will see on the dollar bill, saying order. That says it's basically a Masonic symbolism. Order out of chaos. The fact that they would do something so specific. Here's the thing, man. All of this shit that they're doing is specific and is intentional. They're doing this shit to intentionally show you this stuff. Why? Because they're trying to deflect your attention. That's why. They don't want you to know what us target individuals know. They don't want you to have your focus on the chemtrails. They don't want you to have your focus out on the fact that they have been putting this nanotechnology all over the place. That's why they're trying to shut my channels down. They don't want you to know about all of that. They don't want you to even stop that. Why? Because once you start to become aware of that, and you actually do become aware that you can sell them no, saying, no, I do not consent to having this crap being sprayed down into my sky. No, I do not consent to GMO terrorism, anything like that, or genetically modification terrorism of any kind. Then they can't do shit about it anymore. They can't do anything. They can't spray the skies no more. They can't do nothing. And why? Because if they dare do it again, like if they dared to fucking do that, you wanna know what's gonna happen? That plane, that whoever the fuck is doing it is gonna be traced, tracked, and arrested. But people love money. So they're gonna do whatever they can to basically get money. These people who do this trifling stuff, man, live in a line of fantasy. They just fantasize about being surrounded by millions and millions of dollars. But dude, that's conditioning. That is conditioning. The stuff that you were just imagining being surrounded by. Think about it. Think about a person having $3 trillion, right? Yet they have $3 trillion, but there's nowhere to spend it. Think about it like that. Does the money, if you have nowhere to spend that money, does the money really have any value to it? Does it really? If you have nowhere to use that shit, does it have value? I got a little something to tell you. Money doesn't count for shit. Whether you want to believe it or not, it don't count for shit. Not a damn thing. That stuff has been used as a psychological, how's that pronounced? As like a way to brainwash people to chase that instead of collateral. You see, you would rather, you want to know why they call it dollar bill? You would rather accept a bill than collateral. Now, you use a bill to get collateral, true. However, haven't you noticed stuff that you have to register with the government? So you see, even though you're using the money to get the item, you still registered it with the government, so they still have title of your shit. And guess what? Guess what? If you can't pay off a house note, what do you think fucking happens? If you can't pay off a car note, what happens? They come and take your shit away. Don't it? If you can't pay it off, they just come right by and take your shit, right? Do they not? You want to know why? Because you sign and you basically sign legal ownership over to the government of your shit. You don't have to pay that stuff, but they hire people to keep you brainwashed. You want to know something, man? There was a dude out there who refused to fucking pay taxes and not even even use the city's license plate. He made his own fucking license plate. And he said this stuff was so big that they literally had it on the news. They went and got a famous judge, Judge Joe Brown, to talk about saying, "Nah, man, that dude don't know what the fuck he talking about." Bullshit. That dude knows exactly what the fuck he's talking about. They just don't want him to be an example for everybody else to fucking do it. Because guess what? If everybody got off their ass and stopped listening to these paid off assholes, they wouldn't. The whole point of them being paid off wouldn't even amount to shit anymore. It wouldn't even matter anymore. It would not matter. There would be no need to pay them off because what money? If people stop paying taxes, what kind of money are these gang suckers going to be getting? Nothing. Because these corporate assholes sure ain't going to be coming out of their own pockets for that shit. But then again, you got the people in control of the mint, so they could print out endless amounts of money. But you see, the whole process of this is to keep it untraceable. So without taxpayer money, the blind spot would be revealed. It's crazy though. Let me tell you something, man. When you spout out the truth, they come out with the most outrageous excuses. Anything they can think of just to not feel guilty about what they've done. You've been helping a fucking organization brainwash people, literally rob them of their minds and all of this shit, and you're trying to literally name a target individual as a criminal? Are you fucking serious? These assholes have been targeting people since they were kids. And you knowing this shit, knowing half the shit that many TIs, I'm going to tell you right now, TIs have found a lot of shit, a lot of evidence, and these gang stalkers see all of that. They see all of that shit, and they still fucking work for this organization, despite the fact that they've attacked people's families, they've attacked people's wives, their husbands, their unborn children. They still work for an organization that does this shit. They still work for it and come out with the most sorriest ass excuse. You want to know why they get pissed off when you bring out the truth? Because it brings up the guilt. It brings up the guilt that they try to forget every freaking day. That's why. That's exactly why they get pissed off about it. They don't like it. They don't like people who aren't even involved with it, who are bringing up the truth, because it is a reminder of all the heinous shit they have done. It is a reminder. This is my statement to them. I don't give a fuck how long you live. I don't give a fuck when you die. That, sir or madam, will haunt you for the rest of your existence. Everything that you have done, every rotten thing that you have done in your life, it will be there. No matter when you sleep, no matter if you move, no matter what the fuck you do, it will be there regardless of whatever you do. And you will never escape from that. Everywhere you go, there will be people amongst you that literally remind you of the heinous acts you have committed. There will be truth speakers out there regardless. This is why they are so desperate to get in control of your mind. They are tired of being reminded of the shit they have done. They are tired of that, man. And it's crazy because the obvious solution is to stop fucking with people. Stop. Like, seriously, stop. Honestly, like, man, this whole today's gangsterism thing that they got in the view mind is a joke. And let me tell you how much of a joke it is. You got the whole statement saying, don't snitch, right? I get that. I get it, but why do we have the same some of these people who do that, who are saying that shit, go all of a sudden, and who listen to the music for people saying it too? Here's the problem. You see, they use that, and people thought it was, a representation of protecting, their families and stuff like that from the corrupt. They thought that's what it was. Well, guess what? They ran a psyop on that, and they used that and constructed it in a way to where it benefited, the enemy. That's what happened with that. So when people started saying it, they thought they were protecting, when in reality they were protecting the enemy who was oppressing them this whole time. And what I mean by the enemy, with the way it's being used now, back from when it was used back then, is to the point to where it's more suppressing information on the truth that benefits the same people who are oppressing both you and your people, and it's responsible as to why most of us African Americans can't even get a job, as to why the drugs are running rampant in the streets. It ain't the drug dealers, it's the people basically shipping this shit over here. That's the problem. You can keep constantly getting it out, but why? Who the fuck is paying for these ships to cross this shit online borders? Did you know the FBI was caught hauling drugs? Did you know about that? They were caught with a huge container, and it accidentally it fell off the cargo hold to where it accidentally got into the hands of actual random citizens, and they literally saw that there was huge amounts of crack cocaine in that. Did you not know that? Did you not know that? Did you not know that the line of defense who was hired to basically keep this shit from getting into the country decided to let this shit fly by and into the country, to get into it, to make a profit off of it, because they were being paid to do it? And other people who were the only people who got caught, the only people who basically got busted and basically arrested were actually opposition of their clients. Did you not know about that? So other people who are basically, crossing the border trying to also sell that stuff, who are competitors of their clients, who basically, was like ahead of the cartel and all that shit like that that's out there. Basically, they would have their spies out there keeping an eye out when people were trying to smuggle their own shit across borders. And they were trying to prevent that because it would basically fuck up, the money flow that they were having. So it was basically paid opposition. I'm telling you, man, our entire freaking, damn near our entire freaking justice system is completely corrupt. Now, not the whole thing. We have people in law enforcement. We have people in military. We have people in government who are not like that, who do want the best for everybody. But you got to understand, there's a huge majority of corrupt out there. People be just accepting this money. Did you not understand the whole point of accepting that shit is accepting, the fact that they're stripping you of your freedom? Do you not realize that shit? Do you not realize when you take that dirty money, you're basically accepting yourself into slavery? That's what they're doing. These gang stalkers, the people who do this dumb shit, and basically the actual proper term for this, for gang stalkers, the legal term for this is actually threat assessment teams and community-based policing. That's the actual term. You search that up, you will find that in the books. But what they're doing is, you see, they're using this as an excuse. They use it as an excuse to do what they're doing. They'll literally set the situation up saying this person is a terrible individual. They will never tell you about the programming going on. They will never tell you about the weapons being used on the individual. They'll tell you what you want to know, but not what you need to know. They won't give you the full explanation on the situation, which is why they're trying to take down both my channels now. Which is why they don't want more content. They know for a fucking fact that that's what this shit is. They know damn well that's what it is. And they are, honestly, if you ain't aware about it, man, they obviously are ashamed of what they're doing. They gotta be. Because otherwise, why would they be so pissed off when the truth comes out? Why is it that the truth bothers them so much? I'll tell you why. And this is going back to what I stated before. These are individuals out there who are so far gone. They are a danger to not just themselves, but the people around them. Again, they are a danger to not just themselves, but the people around them. That goes for themselves. That goes for their wife, their husband, their kids, everybody. Because of what they're doing. because of them censoring the truth, because of them discrediting the truth, because of them targeting target individuals, because of them doing the psyop, helping the enemy do this shit. And yet these are the same people that go out and eat this infected food. These are the same people who breathe this infected air. This is the same people who go about their day like this shit, and they have absolutely no problem with it. We found ways to get the shit out of the system, but the assholes are still supporting this fucked up way of life. When in reality, you don't fucking have to work for this corrupt organization to live a decent fucking life. The people, if you were ever in a state of poverty, the assholes responsible for are the motherfuckers who hired you. They were the fucking reason why your ass couldn't get up in life. It was because of them and their bullshit. So technically, at some point in time, even these gang stalkers were susceptible to that. You mean to tell me, out of all these times when you couldn't get that promotion, out of all these times when you couldn't even get your, whether you wanted to get a record label up in life, right? Whether you wanted to even become someone famous or make a lot of money or actually open up a business, do whatever the fuck you wanted to do, knowing that these assholes were in the way of that all the time, you mean to tell me that you would rather work for the same people who put you through that shit, who are paying you off now? Let me tell you something, man. T.I. is a targeted for a reason. There's many reasons for it, but let me tell you something. The fact that they're doing this shit to kids even before they are even adults, even before they even fucking born, man. I just don't know what to say. Like, this is a really fucked up reality we are in. It really is. I could ramble on a bit more, but there's still some videos I need to upload to this platform. Anyway, regardless of that, stay safe, stay strong, everybody.